Welcome back to Sanctuary, ladies and gentlemen, and we are having a wonderful day in the Commonwealth. So today I'm going to show you this building and that building over there. Now, there's a few things I haven't done with this warehouse that I built. I'm trying to decide on what I want to do with it, but we're going to go down here first. So, I'm sure you all guessed what this was when I peeked it, previewed it in the last episode and showed it to you. Almost everybody does this, so it's no surprise that this is what I did. It's where our water is. This is where we produce our water. Uh, I set it up in here so that you can. There are lights on for in the evening. I love the way these lights cast. I believe these came from CBC Dead Wasteland, and they were in the Resources Lights tab. And then I think that's where that light that's over top of the generator came from, too, as well. And I wanted, like, where the knobs and stuff are, there needed to be access. Like, I wanted to be able to go up here and be like, oh, okay, so we're going to activate or deactivate, or we got to work on something. So I wanted you to be able to come up here and be like, okay, we can get. Well, I'm going to have to adjust that. That doesn't let us go all the way up. Not that we would need to. I guess you could just stand here on this step and do something. But I didn't realize it didn't let you go all the way to the top. I got to move that forward. Oops. Well, that's okay. So yeah, I have access areas, and then if we want to put smaller and generate more water, we can put it in here. Um, I don't know why this iBot is in here. He's supposed to be out there, but okay. And then, of course, there's these areas here with knobs and stuff. And I put a different light over it, the fluorescent light, because I wanted there to be uh, a bright light on this section because there's a lot of parts and pipes and knobs and stuff. And I wanted there to be able to, oh, we can see what we're doing here. I have, I believe these are shotgun turrets, yeah, inside to protect it. There's one here, and there's one over there by the door. So if raiders or gunners or super mutants, whatever else might show up, if they get to this point to try to get to the water to destroy it or something, stop our water, they have two shotgun turrets to contend with, and that doesn't count all of the other turrets outside you have to get through, and all the people. And why is that floating? Why is that floating there? That should not be floating there. That is what? Well, another mistake. This is why you should go through and tour your area before you decide to film your tour, because then you have stuff like this that happens, and you're like, well, why is that there? I don't know how that got moved. Um, it was originally, I think, it was either here by the wall, or I had it set up to where it was all the way over there by the door as you come in, and I don't know what happened. And oh, I put sandbags with the wood walls around the generators so that if bullets come through, the generators at least somewhat safe for keeping our water production going. And that is our water production. Now, as time goes on, there will be things added in here because the story, as I'm progressing it, uh, well, you'll see. There's some special things I've got in the works, lore wise, for the settlement and for the Minimint as a whole. And this empty space is going to have a part of it. It's not just wonderful space where you can walk around and get to the pump and stuff. Uh, There's a reason it's extra wide. So there's a tease for you to come back later. Now, this building here, it was originally a greenhouse. I'm sure you saw in, I think it was my introduction video maybe. I was walking around town, and it might have even been the second one when I was doing this. And you could see over here, uh, there were plants and there were decon arches. And in my head, it was we hooked up the water system
Yeah.
to the decon arches, and the decon arches pumped water in to mist the plants in the greenhouse. Um, I did mention in the last video that I had lost those warehouse pieces I used to build the greenhouse. I have since found them, but decided there's plenty of land here in Sanctuary where you can plant stuff, and then people will sandbox around the community uh, doing that, whoever's assigned to do that. Oh yes, look, we have a Humvee for the Minutemen now to get around because we are looking into refurbishing vehicles to use. This is the first Minutemen vehicle that they got working. Uh, nice old military Humvee. In my mind, it was parked outside the castle, and when we retook the castle, we got Sturgis to look at it, and he was all like, "Oh, cool," and he got it working. And yeah, we like that. There's even I haven't even looked at this thing really to look at the details and stuff. There's a fan in there and everything, back seats and stuff. That's actually really neat. See, look and get distracted again. See, I wasn't looking. And then this came from Wasteland Garage, and it's got so much stuff in it that I'm going to be using later on as I progress. I forgot to put a door on here. I haven't decided what door I want and how I want it hooked up. And there's somebody still doing the planting motion because I have plants over here, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I got to do the plants." There's nothing in there, buddy. You're just there's nothing in there. But yeah, I'm gonna put a door on here. I just haven't decided. I want to do maybe a Sabrina's workshop thing, and then I can keep those guys from going in there and planting and digging at the ground. But I haven't decided how and what I want to do. I have though put this in, and we push the button. We get our door, and this is our cargo vehicle. We found a bunch of pieces and pieced it together, and this is what we have. Probably the same interior as the other one. So there's a fan. We've got this little radio box here with knobs and stuff. We got dials. They did a good job on this, modeling this stuff. I've never paid attention to other vehicles. I don't even know if there's Humvees in this game, but they did a good job with this. And I love the little exit lights that they used. They used them back here for tail lights too, that are running, and I love that. And we have some supplies that have been brought in and backed up in. Uh, that's a lot of Nuka Cola and Nuka Cola Quantum. I don't know where that's coming from. General's gonna have to investigate that to figure out what's going on here. Then most of this was from a mod. In the menu, it's a section under the furniture called warehouse. I do not remember what the mod is called at the moment. Uh, I always have my mods listed below, and at some point I plan on going through and hyperlinking all of the mods, except that I'm running about 300 mods or something like that, and it's going to take me a while, and it's a daunting task I don't want to deal with. But yeah, you get Brahmin milk, which is going to be a big part of Sanctuary as well. And then, of course, we have purified water because we have that big pump over there that's pumping water and we get purified water. I believe this is supposed to be an acid barrel. The symbol on it doesn't make it very clear. It's kind of, you can kind of see it looks like maybe you're not supposed to touch it. Uh, and then this is steel. We have, I believe that's adhesive, and then oil or coolant or something. Then we've got some asbestos there. There's springs. Then most of the stuff on this shelf is do-it-yourself. I just threw stuff up there that looks like that you would have in a warehouse like this. We've got tools that people can come take out, multiple sets. Maybe you just need a saw, and then somebody else is like, "Hey, I need the saw," and they're like, "Well, we got 2 or 3 saws in there." There's another set over there, and then this is brick, crystal, and glass. I really like these containers full of stuff, and they fit. This is what you would use. You'd be like, take that cart and go out there and
Yeah?
get a bunch of glass gathered up, or I don't know where you get flat sheets of crystal. Uh, I would usually think it would be like decanters and glasses and stuff. But hey, however, then we've got all our paint for all that we need and some components and another shelf with another stuff on it. And there's just, we got all kinds of stuff in here. I just threw a bunch of stuff up on the shelves to make it look like they've got just a little bit of everything stashed in here, ready to be used at some point for something. I actually have a funny story that relates to that. How I'm decorating with this sort of area. My grandfather grew up through the.
You should know. People have been complaining a bit about the bed situation.
Oh, that's good. Uh, I'll take care of the bed situation soon. There's plenty of beds, but I'll take care of that. As I was saying, my grandfather grew up through the Great Depression, and they had like next to nothing as he grew up, and they worked hard to get what they had. They had a farm that we still live on out here in the boondocks of West Virginia, and my grandfather, of course, I knew him when he was in his 70s, 80s, and now 90s. Uh, he still worked a little bit when I was a kid. He didn't, so he was in his 60s then, probably, because he didn't retire until much later. And my grandfather got into the habit of having, there's this little room off of their little kitchen that they had. I had a dirt floor. It used to be an old cellar room that they used to store stuff in for food and whatnot when the house was much bigger. That's a completely different story. I'm not going to get into though. But he had containers and jars and little coffee cans and big coffee cans and boxes full of just random like building materials and stuff.
It's broken!
What? Damn it, it's broken. What? Anyways, he would keep like every little screw he didn't use or he took out of another project. He'd be like, I'm gonna save these bolts, nuts, washers, nails, little pieces of wood. He would stick in a box and save every type of little fitting or something. If you needed something, he probably had it in that little closet of a save space. And my dad got into that habit too as he got working because he worked with my grandfather's father and brother, and they had the same habit, and it rubbed off on my dad. So as I was growing up, my dad had outbuildings, is what we called them. They were his workshop and storage area, and each building had a different purpose. And he just had jars and coffee cans of stuff that if you needed something for a project, even if you were a kid, just using a hammer and nails in the woods. He uh, he had it, and so did my grandfather, and so that's one of the ways I'm using to kind of uh, decorate some of this. Like this stuff, my grandfather for sure, if he was in Fallout, would have bins like this full of just materials that he had gathered and be like, you never know what you could do with all that. Never know what you're gonna need. And like scrappy building, the that we're doing here, like where you've got junk and stuff, and it looks like that you use random junk to fix things. My uncle or my grandfather calls that the farmer's method, uh, because that's how his house and my grandmother's house were. They had, I kid you not, shelves that my grandfather had. They were already in there, like and whatnot, and they would break or need a repair, and he would go get one of those little pieces of wood that he had in one of them boxes, some screws or nails, and his hammer or a drill or whatever, and he would fix it with like that little piece to prop up a stand that was broken off that was making the shelf lean, and he did that with everything in their house. Like, why go out and spend money on material when he's got these little pieces of 2x4 that fit right in that spot? And that's another habit that rubbed off on my dad. Now, my dad, when he was a Vietnam veteran, and when he came back from the war and he met my mother and they got
Yeah.
married and whatnot, he didn't have a job. Uh, he didn't have like a career or anything. So my grandfather's father, my great grandfather, and my brother, his brother, my great uncle, took my dad under their wing and taught him how to build construction and whatnot. So, and then I built construction with my father when I got older. My brother builds like he's built $1 million log homes and put in like retaining walls and masonry. Like he has done amazing stuff. My other older brother, that was my little brother I was talking about. My older brother, he also can do that kind of stuff as well. So it just runs in our family. But we call my dad the wood savant. I kid you not. He could look at a catalog. My mom would come in and be like, "You see this cabinet? I really want this cabinet." And you'd just be like, "Yeah, I can do that." He would go buy material, go, and he would build the cabinet that was in the magazine to the exact specifications. He didn't need anything else except the picture and the measurements. That's all he needed. And he didn't even need that most of the time. He could do it without even doing it. I remember in our old house that burnt down, my sister had left a bed there that she really wanted later on, but was never able to get it because it burned up in the fire. But he built it from scratch uh, for her because she had a really crappy bed. And one day she said, Dad, I need a new bed. Do you think we could do something? He's like, yeah, sure. I swear to God, he was up 6 a.m. the next morning, and by noon, she had a brand new queen size bed that he had built from scratch. That son of a bitch was heavy, but let me tell you, it was built to last. If it hadn't have burned up in a fire, that thing would have probably lasted 200 or more years. And a nuclear blast, because I mean, this thing was heavy duty, but it was gorgeous too. He had white and pine and regular pine, and then there was some cherry and walnut that he planed down and stained and put in. Oh, it was gorgeous. Oh, another point I didn't point out, and sorry if I ramble, guys. I have stories that I tell. I like to tell stories, and my wife has heard these a billion times and doesn't want to hear them anymore. So you guys get to suffer. But oh, that is floating. I'll need to fix that. Got to lower that down. But I put this here because how are you going to unload pallets of stuff like that or load up pallets of stuff and take them other places without a loader? So we have a loader that'll do that for us. And so this was a quick tour. Didn't really do much crazy with it, but I really like the way uh, this warehouse turned out. I built it too small. As you can see, the roofing is a little odd because um, it was an odd width, and then I had to overlap with this to get the roofing the way I wanted it, and I just turned it into an overhang. Uh, really simple solution. And the reason this looks so scrappy is, again, uh, not the best materials were used for this. Like the roof, yeah, sure, they used the best materials for that, but the walls and stuff were like, grab whatever you can find out in the
I
wasteland,
hope you
guys.
realize how much you did
Bring it,
for us.
bring it here, and we'll slap together this place to keep the stuff that we need. Because eventually, you're going to need building materials for
Hey,
the rest
General.
of this, and like this building and that stuff over there, you know. So that is our warehouse and our water production,
Yes?
and I was really proud of the shape that this took because I wanted it to be tall, and I wish they had a beam that went right across the top there with one of the flat pieces, but I can't seem to find it in the warehouse section. And this is, of course, is a warehouse barn. That's a barn retexture, I think. Might be where. I don't know. It's one. It's one of the retextures. Uh, but I like the way it comes up and then boop, and then we have this huge middle section, and then we have another like lean-to section over there. I wanted to have the big barn doors like right around here in the middle, and that sign is not against the wall because it is casting a shadow. I'll have to fix that. These are from Evil Viking 13's mod, the Minuteman Propaganda pack. General Dave showing his approval. And then we have order is safety. We can work together and we can rebuild. Um, on in his stuff, it's a little like you will work to rebuild. Mine is more like if we work together, we can rebuild. Um, but we also have to be organized about it, and that's why the Minutemen are stepping in, and we're stronger together. And then I can't remember where I got these posters. I can't remember. I think it was a Vault posters pack that I downloaded at some point. And then we have this one that Evil Viking 13 Ranger Dave built. It's safety, prosperity, clean water, and it has the Minutemen symbol in the water or the lake. And I blew it up there to make it bigger because we're making clean water. And yeah, there's nothing else to show you. I'm getting into the habit of recording these and being able to just stand around and talk. We got the dog meat core running around. I don't know where actual dog meat went. He's got a Kevlar vest thing on, so you can tell. Oh, there he is. Dog meat palling around with the dog meat core. And apologize if you hear my squeaking chair. I have a really bad computer chair. It's busted. It's broken. I can't afford to buy a new one. That's just the way it is. Uh, I'm poor, and oh well. So you're gonna hear squeaking and scratching and noises, and I apologize. Now, why did the provisioner and the Brahmin stop right in the middle here? That's crazy. Why would you do that? All right. Well, with that, we're going to be set. Where is that music coming from? Are Are you playing music? Oh, it's one of ha 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 ha. It's one of the Enclave bots. I was like, where's that music coming from? I downloaded a mod that gives you old world. It's called Old World Radio Boston or something like that. Well, actually, I can show you right now. Let's see. So these are all the individual ones that you can get. This didn't come with that pack, but it does have another one. But this one is the Enclave National Broadcast. And I didn't realize it until yesterday that it actually has Enclave iBots like Fallout 3 had going around playing music and doing propaganda stuff. So I'm just gonna take care of that for a second. I won't let me. Uh huh. What's? I don't know what's going on, but I don't like it. Put the gun away. Alright, I'm going to stop playing with that before I end up messing something up. And I will see you all next week.